Strain Damage family, welcome to another episode of the Strain Damage podcast. This is what?
Your brain on buds.
This is your brain on buds, maybe some other stuff, but mostly buds. When cannabis legalization happened in New Mexico, there was a rush to the market, and now there is a race to the bottom. But there are some shops that are still rolling the numbers back, still doing well in these crowded markets. And we have here today with us the owners of Amnesia Dispensary, Julieta and Stephanie. What's going on? Thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, busy day, I'm sure. You know, 2 stores now, a lot of market activity happening. What's overall? What's new with Amnesia as a brand?
Well, right now, our goal for this year is to open 3 more stores. So we're working on that. So yeah, that's our goal for this year. We're already in the works with one of them. We don't want to talk too much about it until it happens, but so that's what we're up to.
Yeah, aiming for more than 100% expansion.
Yes.
Damn, that's lofty goals, but at Strain Damage we set the bar high, so game recognized game. And that kind of makes me curious. So how did actually let's go back all the way. Whole history. So y'all are originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico?
I was actually born in Mexico, but I came here at the age of 9, and I've been here since I'm 48 now.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm from Las Vegas, New Mexico. Came here in 2004. Been here since.
Hell yeah. Cool. So I guess, did y'all get into cannabis growing up, or was that something that kind of came later in life?
It's been since growing up for me.
Yeah.
My parents smoked since this.
You were raised on the farm.
Well, they tried to hide it, but there was, always that smell coming out from underneath their door, so they didn't do a very good job. I always remember telling my parents that I was going to be on the cover of Better Homes and Gardens, the weed farm. We haven't gotten a weed farm, but we have a dispensary, so we're close.
Making dreams come true.
Exactly.
And I started back in this industry about 15 years ago with smoke shops.
Okay, so you kind of hanging out at the periphery, and then when recreational happened.
I've been waiting for it for so long. I knew it was gonna happen sooner than later.
Yeah, and that's cool to kind of, I guess, and this is a day and age of like instant gratification, right? Things happening very fast, or the expectation for things to happen fast, and it's cool to kind of just be like, yeah, I'm gonna basically, I've been doing the same thing with crypto, right? I've been holding the main stuff, throwing money into shit coins here and there, but basically just kind of waiting for the market run that started to occur and happen. So that's cool. But what age when did you start personally consuming?
I was 15.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Around 15, 16.
Okay. What do you remember the first thing you smoked? Was it absolute chronic, knocked you on your ass, or
It
just
was Mexican Sprite.
It was swag.
And then you would proceed it, and then you would smoke it, and then some of it would pop like popcorn, and you just.
Did it come in a brick?
Yes,
It
with
did,
feathers.
yes, they took a
Oh,
big chunk out of
shit,
it,
okay.
yeah.
I remember finding stuff. It was always a treasure hunt.
And now it's so hard to find a seed, and back then there was just seed
It's-
galore.
yeah.
I remember we found a fingernail in it one time, and I was just I'm not about to hit that. I'm that's too far for me.
That's
The
it.
swag was definitely the starter point for a lot of people, I noticed. Especially that popcorn, that.
Yeah.
I didn't never think about that. That's literally how you could always tell, go to hit the joint or something, and I'll hear that. This is swag for sure.
Yeah. So you started with smoke shops, and kind of were just waiting for that. Have you been also, Stephanie, in the cannabis industry for a minute?
Yes, for at least 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I started working in a smoke shop in Las Vegas, New Mexico, and then through that I started working with a tobacco distribution company, and that's actually how I met Julieta. She was one of my clients with pyros, and then I left there and started working with her.
Yeah, we became good friends during
Yeah,
that time.
so, and here we are today.
Pyros, that sounds very familiar.
Those are in like Candelaria? Right?
Yeah, that was the original one, 12th Street in Candelaria.
I remember that.
That's an OG smoke shop for sure.
And
My
then we
dad used to
also owned the
always go
Wild
there.
Side.
That's when I was too young to even be doing anything.
You're going along in the car, like you know the whole place mapped out in your head.
My dad
Right across from Stuffy's.
Yep.
Yeah, it's up there with like Budstones, like you know what I mean, as far as like nostalgic smoke shops that have been around for a long time for sure.
No, that's cool. So basically the whole impetus to kind of work together, y'all were hanging out and basically thinking, hey, it's gonna happen any year now. They're gonna pull the trigger on
We knew it was gonna happen. I remember waiting, and I remember when I was waiting to see what the governor was gonna sign. And that night at the 10 o'clock music came on, and I was in my pajamas. I put on my shoes. I didn't care. I got in my truck, and I went to go find a spot because it had to be perfect. I had to find the right spot.
Damn.
Dang, that was right when they said she
Yeah, I was like, it's on.
That's
she's
like
signing, let's
presidential
go.
election type things. Like you waiting for the result, you staying laid up, and you're like, all right, cool, time to find a spot.
Yeah, it was on. I was on until 1 in the morning, and I got so many different numbers. And the next day I was on it. I was calling.
So you were just driving around, and wherever you see like a billboard, like for rent, like
Yeah, for lease, for
take a
rent, for
picture,
sale,
call them.
whatever. Let's get on it.
That's fire. And that's when the first location came about. And what?
That's the one on San Mateo.
San Mateo.
It was difficult at first because people were not aware of what the lots looked like, so they didn't want to rent, and they were very skeptical about it. So we finally found a spot, and it's funny because now looking back at a lot of the places that I had called that had said no to us because they were unaware of how everything was going to work, are dispensaries now. So it is what it is.
How did were there any challenges in getting the retailer's license, or was that process relatively straightforward?
Was it straightforward? No. Was it difficult? Some parts of it are difficult, some aren't. Getting the state of New Mexico to provide the license is the easy part. Each different city has different laws that come along with it, and that's where it gets difficult depending on where you're at. Albuquerque has definitely been difficult, and working with the city of Albuquerque and trying to get your blueprints and everything to go through them it's a totally different story.
Damn. No, I mean, like I just kind of had a flashback to like city bureaucracy. So years ago, I used to be before I got into anything with tech and media, I used to be an environmental scientist. And so submitting paperwork to the state's like environmental authorities was an absolute fucking nightmare. You'd like get physical documents notarized, put it in the mail, and then have to like call and harass them and be like, hey, so have you checked this out?
It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
It has not changed.
No, so I had,
Which licensing?
We haven't gotten our new license yet?
Oh yeah, we have just applied, because you have to reapply every year.
Yeah.
We just applied for a new licensing. That has been through the RLD, so it hasn't quite been the city, but it's sending them emails, hey, I sent you this 2 months ago. We're coming up at the end of January, I need to see where that license is at, because if you don't have it, then you can't be, doing what you're doing, and so it can really affect your business. So it's just staying on top of them, and I understand that they do have a lot of work, but I also know that now they have a lot more people working for them, so, which I'm happy for, because they're also putting the regulations out there, which also allows a lot of us to be able to get better product, and to make sure that the quality is high, and that people are getting, exactly what they're paying for, and that all this stuff is being analyzed, and that it's not just coming off wherever.
Right, regulation is a necessary evil. If cannabis is truly to, I guess people realize the full benefits of it, then it has to be regulated at some level properly. Speaking of regulation, Vile and I used to see this all the time in the Platinum Club days, the little CCD guys poking their heads in. Did y'all get a lot of CCD visits in the early days?
We did. I really, they have been very kind to us, and they have been really willing to work with us and explain things to us, and just overall work with us. You do get a lot of people that will call, like they get upset over whatever it may be, and they'll call, and the CCD has to come in and do a compliance check, and
So like half the time they don't even want to be there.
they really don't. And they'll be like, it sounds like it was the same person, but they don't give a name, so then they have to come in and check.
People like to do that, just be difficult. Some
Yeah.
people are just like unsatisfiable.
Exactly,
Yeah,
no
you could be
matter
like,
what you do for them.
We'll fix it, and I'm like, no.
No, they called the CCD because they said we were selling mids. That was their complaint.
I'm calling the CCD. This is me. Hey, yo, this shit is the gas. I'm calling the CCD.
I have to tell you guys the funniest call we have gotten though. They walked in there, and the CCD walked in there, there's two of them, and they were waiting for the state police to come, and I was like, oh Lord, what happened here? Well, somebody had called and said that I was part of the mafia.
Oh my God.
I thought it was funny. I said, well, I'm not Italian, and if I was part of anything since I'm Mexican, wouldn't I be part of the cartel?
Like, can you get your racial stereotypes here?
And then they went,
Literally, they fell back.
Basic geography, guys. Although that being said, like you could pass for a cast member of The Sopranos, like that could work. Could.
I want to be Queen of the South, though.
Queen of the Southwest.
Hey, there we go. So at one point I want to bring up something. DBG and I were reading a news article that stated that you sold your house for cash to put up capital to start Amnesia.
Yes, I did. I had some cash saved, and then Stephanie came with some cash, and we were like, if we want to make this work, we need more capital than we have right now in order to compete with the other places that were already here and that have millions of dollars. And so
you were looking at the market too, like analyzing the market.
we always do.
Yeah.
I have a master's in business administration, and she has a marketing degree, so it's like we're looking at everything.
Perfect team.
And so at that point we said we need more, and they have children. I have a child, but he's already in college and he was gone, and I was like, hey, I'm the one that can afford to be homeless right now. No, I was never homeless. My sister took me right, and she's also part of this, so. Yeah, so it worked out well for us, and we were able to expand and grow, a little bit faster than some of the smaller dispensaries because we did have access to that cash at that point.
Take risks, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This is an industry.
Sacrifice something for some kind of reward.
For sure, and this is an industry where I feel like due to things popping up here and there, like you're always gonna need more money than.
And I think you guys said it perfect too, because a lot of these bigger dispensaries, they have a lot of money because they've been doing it medical, or they've just been you know what I mean?
They're from other states.
Yeah.
You have the MSOs, the multi-state operations, and so they have a lot more than we do.
A lot of them, a good amount of the market is from out of state. I noticed that because I'll be asking them. I'll be like, well,
California,
where are you guys from? They're from
Nevada,
Cali, Oregon, just all over the place.
Yeah, and
That's
so we're
crazy.
very proud to be New Mexican, owned and New Mexican ran. And so that's something that we try to keep, and everybody that we buy from, we try to keep it as local as possible. So all of our farmers are local. We're 90% female owned, and so we also try to bring in a lot of other female growers into our place to support that and minorities big time.
That's dope. That's fire. I
Yeah.
like that because it's just not you know what I mean? It's not a bunch of just people coming from different places, you know what I mean? You guys are.
Yeah, we want to stay
This is
local.
home, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And my friend lives around the corner from over there, and he's very picky with stuff like that. And he's like, Amnesia's my favorite dispensary. He always goes over there. He's all, they got that.
Oh,
joint
the
for
420 pre-roll.
420.
We are the house of the 420.
That's his favorite. He literally the home of the 420 joint, bro. You haven't been there? He was all happy to take me over there. He goes there all the time too, and you know what I mean. And for him, his opinion means a lot to me because I know that he's very particular with stuff. So he's just they always got fired. And
Oh,
he's
that's good
just,
to hear.
yeah,
Yes.
he-
We try to
he
keep things
fucking-
affordable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is too. He's like, they ain't trying to tax me. You know, they always have deals and stuff too. He's I could get like a big old pack of some fire for a cheap price. And he's just always happy about it. So I'm like, you guys are doing your thing.
You know,
Especially
it's
in that
medical,
area,
it's
too.
medicine, and I think that a lot of these places, we need to keep it to where people, we don't wanna be like pharma, where it's not something that people can go in and afford. We want it to be affordable to everyone. Just as, you know, you do have premium, but we also have tried to put those premiums on sale now and again, so that people do have access to that, who might not necessarily have the money all the time to afford that. We want everybody to have access to all the good stuff that we have.
Speaking of good stuff, we have here the Amnesia mystery roll.
Tell us what it is.
Yeah, we're about to find out what this is. I'm like very strain sensitive. Like I am known for using like very like citrusy sativas as like jet fuel to like design code and do a bunch of shit on the computer.
Citrusy.
But then like I'll hit garlic breath GMO or some
What does it smell like? Like what's
yeah, take
Let
that.
me examine that.
This is
Yeah.
gonna make the decision whether we mess with this company or not.
This is from a totally different company? And
Yeah, they brought us in some of their stuff and we wanted you guys to
Will
test it out
this
and see.
become an Amnesia 420 pre-roll?
So we would
Stay
tell
tuned.
you guys the company that brought this too, but it's a mystery as well.
Well, we don't wanna put anyone on blast.
What did it smell like, DDD?
I couldn't really get a good, like there's too much smoke in here.
I did, yeah, I burned incense in here.
It probably
this
didn't
morning.
help that I like held in a hit too while smelling it.
We're all waiting to see.
You gotta get it. Make sure it's lit. Make sure it's lit right. You just got
Oh no. It's okay, no more canoe.
See that
There we go.
torch is deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was using it without discretion. So San Mateo launched. San Mateo's doing well. The same article said somewhere in the 300,000s. Hazy on the actual number. At what point did y'all think about, that was like the month of October, I think, last year. But at what point did y'all decide to expand to the valley?
We had a lot of people coming from the valley asking us to open a store in the valley, so we
Oh,
actually
okay.
put out a questionnaire and asked people, if Amnesia was to open another store, where would you like to see it? And so the South Valley kept on coming up over and over and over, and so that's why we decided to go down there and look for a spot. And then my sister came and said, I found this spot, and we all went, are we sure about this?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
right next to the sheriff's office.
Oh!
That's what I always thought when me and Roger stopped by. I was just like, this is so crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I used to smoke like sour diesel bowls and like think the feds are gonna kick in my door because of how stinky it was, but then much less like a dispensary to be able to be
Right
400 or
next to it,
500
right?
feet next to a
So many people
Sheriff.
love to take
sheriff
pictures
at
right
that.
there. The sheriff, yeah.
So
I was
that's
about to
crazy.
say it's a flex for me.
Yeah. You guys are like this, just.
I'll tell you something, the sheriff's
my
office,
receipt like, hey.
yeah. The sheriff's office has been so welcoming to us.
Oh, yeah.
Bernalillo County has been amazing to us. They actually told us how much they wanted us there, how much our taxes meant for them.
Yeah.
How it's helping out their community, and to be honest with you, they even let us park in their parking lot.
Oh,
So that we have more
oh,
space up in
shit.
the front. They're really
That's
cool.
awesome.
You guys got parking lot privileges.
Wow. We don't even get towed.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Hey, they're showing love because they probably go in when they're off.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I didn't have to go across town no more. They were probably the ones that were telling you guys to go.
They're like, yeah, please relocate to our neighborhood.
I get off work and I'm tired and I gotta drive all the way over there. So pull
And
up
you
right
know,
next
that's the
door.
other thing, we're open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. So every day.
Accessible, yeah.
Yeah, because that was one of the biggest complaints when everything became recreational, how a lot of the other stores were closing at 7 The latest one was 8, and there's people who work until 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And so, we decided that that's what we were gonna do, and it has worked great for us.
But literally in Rio Rancho, there is no dispensary ever open. Like I get off at 10 and I'll leave and I'll be like, damn.
So Rancho makes you close.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
You know,
Oh my
and Rio
goodness.
Rancho has
They're like,
blocked-
we've done our homework with this
tried.
subject.
No, they've blocked new dispensaries from coming in. I think there's maybe, if you search Rio Rancho, there's 7 dispensaries there. 6 of them are medical, and
Yeah.
one of them is owned by a small person like us. But we've tried to get into Rio Rancho.
Oh,
They make it
that's
next to impossible to.
That's terrible.
It's
Yeah.
the whole Denver, Colorado Springs effect. Denver, Boulder, all of that area.
It's
is
even
what
just
was
like
up.
Rio
They
Rancho
banned
trying to just like
there.
establish the fact that they're trying to be like themselves. They're like,
Yeah.
we're Rio Rancho, we have these rules and this and that. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, the
But
cops
really-
over there are very different too.
And the only people that are affected is the consumer, really.
Really.
Because I mean, if you go over there, the majority of the people that you see there are people that were already established way before we even came in. And so now people like us are not having the opportunity to provide services to people who could probably afford what we have, you know, at a much higher rate than they have now.
So,
I don't know what this mystery is though.
yeah, no,
It kind of tastes a little chummy. I ain't gonna cap.
yeah, I was noticing a little harshness at the end. I mean, it's not bad tasting,
Okay.
it's smooth.
So no to this company. Decision
I'm like,
made.
if that's like something to bring into sample and you don't know the name,
Alright,
I don't know. That's probably why they don't know the name.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, okay, alright, we'll give them a little something last night's
There's not-
tune.
It's very.
It's,
oh yeah, it is harsh.
Cause I've definitely smoked plenty of joints from Amnesia.
Yeah,
that's not
okay.
it.
No, that is not
That's
Amnesia pre-roll.
Yeah, nah.
sorry.
Sorry. We
Sorry,
got-
no, sorry.
Thumbs down for
mystery
that
roll,
one.
mystery roll disrespecters.
We're gonna keep it a mystery.
So no, that's
The
not coming
best-
into our shop.
This is the best thing we could do. Quality control.
I could see if it tasted, I could see if it tasted like the mystery airhead, like in the Turks or something like that. To give it
Something cool.
something like that. But I honestly didn't get no taste from that at all.
Something
Yeah.
that makes you want to be like, what was that? I need to know.
Yeah. So I mean, it's doing the mystery part right. Yeah. 'Cause, yeah, we still want to know, but I guess we'll never know. So that actually brings up an interesting subject. So when y'all are, taking inquiries from various growers or looking at working with certain farms, who's kind of doing like the taste testing? Is that like the whole team?
It's the whole team.
Yeah.
It's including bartenders and managers and owners, and everybody partakes, and then we decide.
That's why the bartender's always so knowledgeable over there. So
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, I'm gonna show you everything. What you want to look at?
Yeah, we had over 97 strains at one point, and we said this is too much,
Yeah,
because people were
choice
just looking at
paralysis.
this menu and they didn't know what to do with it, because it's so
I
hard to
can't
pick.
decide either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And there's always a
I feel you
variety.
get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. There's people who are like, yep, I know, I want GMO cookies, I want this, I want that, and then there's
Yeah.
people like, will this fuck me up? Like, like the old people that buy will this relieve my joint pain? Yeah,
Some
they're
people have
focused on
very
this.
high tolerance though, for real.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to using it for pain, so their tolerance is just like.
And then you have people that are old school, and so
Yeah.
and you give them anything over 20, and they're like, no, that's
Yeah.
not my mind. And so
Yeah.
you're stuck as a buyer. You're like, well, they brought me some 12, 18%. Like, do I get some? Do I not? Like, what are their terpenes like? What are we looking at here? So, as a buyer, it becomes difficult as to what to get and what to pick, and so you have to look at your audience, right?
Do they ever sample with you, like when they bring it by to like?
We can't do that at the store just
Oh.
because of the CCD laws.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, it gets taken.
Do they
Very
kind of
small.
give any background knowledge that they may have on what they?
They do, they'll tell us about it, and then we get all the,
The test
the
results.
test results.
Yeah.
What did the mystery guy say?
Literally.
It is a
He said,
mystery.
"I'm going to
Didn't know anything.
Yeah, they came in, usually the way that we like to deal with people is, because they'll send us tons of emails, and so then we'll reach back if we see something that we like. And then we'd like to have a face-to-face and look over their product and see what it looks like, and look under, look under the magnifier and see what their history is, and see how long they've been growing, how they've been growing.
Yeah,
Is it outdoor, is it indoor?
Yeah.
What are we looking at? So all of that gets taken into account when we're buying.
All the good stuff, all the stuff we would look at too.
Yeah.
That's
Every time we've gone by Amnesia and we see the menu, I'm always like, oh, I gotta see this. You know what I mean? And you guys always have the true to strain or true to genetic, which you guys are saying. I've been to a few dispensaries where they try to pass like original OG Kush off and it's tangy at the end of the day, and you're just like, nah, this is straight citrus terps. I wanted that gassy, earthy, pungent, kick me in the face, put me to bed type stuff. But then it's like, I just got like a heart rush from it, and my head's racing, and this is tasting like citrus, and it's not what they gave me, but you guys have always been true to menu, and I like that for sure.
Thank you. I think the other thing that people are doing incorrectly is how they're storing a lot of their
And
flour.
right?
Yeah, and so that's where it becomes a problem. You can't expose it to light too much, so I see a lot of people using glass jars, which is a huge no-no.
I mean, it looks nice, but
so you get moldy
Like-
fast, like
Yeah.
those little glass jars.
If it's
They don't really
exposed
have
to
that
light.
much shelf life at all.
Well, we have humidifiers and we have things that tell you where what it's looking like, or if you need to take some out, or if you need to put some in, and so that's what allows us to keep better track of how our flour is doing.
That's good. That's really good, honestly. You gotta make sure all of it's nice, because you definitely don't want some dry bud, or you don't want bud that's not cured proper, you know what I mean? Where it's like kind of,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
No,
You know,
where it crumbles to dust in your hand, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And are we doing angel dust? Is this the 80s?
literally.
I gotta say, some of the new concentrates, when they bring them in, you kind of look at them and you're like, this kind of looks like crack. What are we looking at?
What exactly are we doing?
That was my first time like seeing crumble. Like, wait, like, are you sure this isn't crack rocks? Like, I was telling my friend, like, are we gonna be like Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill in Wolf of Wall Street, where they, like, the guy quits his job, they smoke.
No.
Yeah, no, some of them do look funny, some of them smell funny.
I would be skeptical to test concentrates that people brought in for like sample. That would be the only thing, because I didn't even think about that. Like, because concentrates are very iffy, because some are like very heavy BHO, like some are just, especially what kind of concentrate it is, of course.
Yeah,
Like,
whether it's fresh frozen, washed and pressed.
Because if it's some rosin, I'll probably try it, but all that other wax.
Talking about like the crumbles and the shatters and stuff.
The
like that.
sugars
Yeah,
and-
the sugar
Yeah, there's a
types
lot of different
batter.
type of wax.
Mhm.
well, I can tell your employees have no problem trying to freeze them.
You're like, what's
BHO runs sick.
Well, the other thing is they're sending you all the educational stuff with it, and the testing with it, and so it's not like being out on the street just testing whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, oh,
No, they'll have like lab results, or they'll send it to the lab for.
because I don't trust wax.
Yeah, we will not accept anything that does not have test results. Or if their label's incorrect, we send it back.
No, that's good.
Gotta stay in compliance.
No, for sure. What of all of the new strains or new products y'all picked up last year for both of y'all? What is your favorite?
Right now, there's this guy from Hobbs, what is his name? Bart. And he has a company named 42 Days. And his stuff is fire. He's from here. It's so clean and it smokes so well. And
Yeah.
so if I want to give anybody props, it's 42 Days, because like I said, they're so clean and just, it's such a beautiful product and it's so affordable, and we just can't keep enough in stock, especially since they're in Hobbs. Yeah, come by and I'll hook you guys up with some of his stuff. I mean, he's done great. So we just picked him up, in the last couple months?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Another company I really like their products is Cowboy RX.
Oh yes, Cowboy RX is great.
Those both sound like fire names. 42 days, however.
42 days.
And Cowboy RX is from here. His farm is in Belen, and his name is Mono, and he's just a great guy.
Oh yeah, I met Mono.
You met Mono?
Yeah,
Mono's
he's really
great,
cool.
isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
yeah.
cool people. He's down to earth. His sales rep, Marisol, is just amazing. And they have so much product. Their edibles are amazing. Their gummies are tasty.
Fire.
Yeah.
He has a shop in the South Valley too, right? Am I not mistaken? Or he was part of one?
I think he might have been part of one. I don't think he is anymore.
Yeah, I remember shooting the Dabski commercial there, and Mono was there, and the Dabski guy, and I forgot the lady that introduced me to all of them. It was through Platinum Club. It was crazy, but that's how I met Mono.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Mono is definitely New Mexican. It's funny to see all
He's
these
dope.
cowboys like growing weed. I love it. His farm is beautiful too.
In
I'm
terms,
gonna have to check out some of their stuff because
I bet you a lot of the weed that you get from us is from Cowboy RX because we buy a lot from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
keep that in mind. So as y'all expand, is there anything kind of that you've like learned and are looking to do differently, or you kind of just taking the same playbook and running with it?
I think that business is business no matter what it is you're selling. And so we learned this game back in the day when they were opening a ton of smoke shops. There was so many of them and it was so competitive. But at the end of the day, when you look at business, it's what it's called the 20-80 law. So 20% will make it and 80% will fail. And so you always have to keep that in mind, and you have to always be innovative, and you always have to keep up with what people are into and what they're not into. Because you can order something this month, and next month people are over it. So then you need to jump on it, put it on sale, move forward, and see what the next big thing is.
Yeah, that article said that y'all, like a big part of y'all's success has been repeat customers. So how do y'all like retargeting the same customers or kind of building that brand loyalty?
I think a lot of it has to do with pricing, and
That's what
then
I
we
was
just
about to
have
say,
also
Yeah.
just like a really welcoming environment. I mean, people have told us they feel like it's like a homey type
No,
environment.
yeah,
I mean, we have a lot of
definitely.
I like when people know about their stuff, like when it comes to bud tenders, because like some people make it very unwelcoming when they're just like, what do you want? And it's like, well, I don't know what I want.
Yeah, what do y'all got?
And that's something that we work a lot on. It's like, we're not gonna know everything, but if somebody's asking you a question as a bud tender and you don't know what it is, you have access to the internet. Say, you know what, I'm not sure, but let's research it, let's look at it, let's
That's
see where
what
you're at.
Some employees are really good with that. Well, like, let's take a look about it, but not.
ChatGPT is gonna be Canvas friendly now.
About it. They're like, this is the good stuff. If you like that, like, what do you like? You know what I mean? They're like, what are you into? How do you consume it? And I like when it's something like that where it's a very friendly environment, and it's like, I don't care if you're gonna get one thing or 10 things. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna help you the same way. And that's what it is. Some people kind of just are just.
Yeah, and that's what
You don't
we're
look
there
like
for.
you're
We're
gonna
there
get
to
much.
serve our customer. Because without our customers, we are nothing. And without our employees, we are nothing. So we try to be good to our employees as well as we are to our customers. And that's also when you walk in, you're not gonna see an armed security guard right there. You're gonna walk in, you're gonna be able to talk to the person that's gonna help you. You don't have to pass your information 2 or 3 times before you walk up so many doors. That's inconvenient.
Yeah, so inconvenient. Especially when you have to like give them your ID, like
Yeah.
to check in, go back there, show them your ID again, and then show them your ID when you want to pay. I'm like, oh my goodness. I pull it out like 3 times.
It's like I've actually replaced this with 2 different fake IDs.
In the process.
I wonder if they would notice, like if you just gave them one, like the same picture, just a different name.
You don't wanna do that, you'll screw up your points. We can
Fuck compliance. You will miss out on loyalty.
Just change the picture and I'll bring it to you.
Or the same person, but then like with the wig or like the little disguises, like.
You guys must be surprised.
At least you guys don't do that though, so you wouldn't have to
We
go
just
through
stick
that.
that
We're just, okay, good
We've
to
had
go.
people give us a medical card that doesn't match their ID, and it's like, bro, this is not gonna work.
It's all I'm trying to get him his discount.
Yes, I totally what they'll say. Well, I'm shopping for my auntie, but that's not how it works.
Yeah. Auntie gotta come pull up. So what, in addition to expansion this year, what else are y'all looking forward to in the industry that's coming up? We have potential descheduling.
We do, and that would be more on a federal level. And to be honest with you, I have mixed feelings about that.
That's fair.
Just because if they deschedule, it's one thing, and that would be great, especially as business owners, because we pay, we fall under the 280E as far as taxes are concerned. And so we get zero deductions, and it's just a very expensive business to run.
Yeah.
If they deschedule, then that would change and we could do our taxes just as a regular business. However, if they schedule that as a Schedule 3, if you look back in history, anything that has been moved to a Schedule 3 ends up being pharmaceuticals. And so that's something where we have to be real careful, because if that happens, Walmart, Walgreens, all the big dogs are getting ready to jump in, and that's gonna get rid of all of us little people as dispensaries, just kind of like they did with pharmacies. You don't see very many pharmacies anymore.
That's that zombie. That's that shit that's gonna turn people to zombies.
Yeah.
Walmart
weed. That's the new fentanyl epidemic. Walmart weed.
I don't even like their vegetables, bro.
You're like, yeah, you guys can't even do produce right. How the fuck are you gonna get cannabis right? Well, Julieta, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us. Other than the stores on Isleta and San Mateo, if people want to follow, stay connected with Amnesia's brand, how can they do that?
We have a website, amnesiadispensary.com, and we are also on Leafly. So any product that you want to see we have, or if you have any suggestions, please write to us. We are more than happy to look into things and order. And we're also on Instagram, so Facebook, you can find us anywhere. And if you come into any of my shops, my cell phone number is right up front, so you can speak to me directly.
That was one of the most gangster things I've ever seen a dispensary do. Like, here's, in terms of customer service, like, here is my cell phone number. That was the first thing I noticed that blew my mind. I was like, damn, that's hard.
That's fire.
Well, again, thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you guys for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Learned a ton on how to succeed in a crowded market. Strain Damaged Family, go out there and get it.
Peace.